cat, a girl, some guards, and all the time in the world. This is Timelie. Okay, so let's make this my shortest review ever. If you like puzzle adventures like Portal and Braid, this is a must-buy. Unfortunately, I get paid by the word, so I guess I have to say something more here. I always love cats, female protagonists, and games where you're playing with time. So this game, where you play as a girl and a cat, and you play with the flow of time, all at the same time, looked like a dream come true for me. And it truly was. Since the game starts with a girl waking up in some kind of clinical laboratory who then tries to escape through cleverly designed rooms, you can't help but thinking about Portal. It gets a whole lot less Portal later on, but that initial recognition of Portal do add to the overall positive feeling of the game. I'm not a nostalgic person in any way really, but tailor-made Portal nostalgia is something else. Now you're thinking with cats and time. First and foremost, Timelie is the game that restores my faith in trial and error. Trial and error is usually a bore because you have to replay the same long sequence over and over again, failing time after time, not really knowing what you're supposed to do, just pulling things out of the hat, not feeling that you have any direct control over what happens. But since you can stop time at any moment in Timelie and rewind and fast forward events as often as you want and how fast as you want, trial and error suddenly becomes really fun. The levels, or the rooms if you like, in Timelie are usually solved in two different ways. Either by sitting and thinking really hard, trying to find a solution of how to get past the robotic guards and pass through the locked doors, or by just running right into it, using trial and error, rewinding and fast forwarding time again and again just to see what the hell happens. Since every time you die or end up in a dead end in a room, you can start over from any point up until that point in 2 seconds, the game has a nice slow pace and a cool really fast pace at the same time. The best part of Timelie is that the game is neither too hard nor too easy. Halfway through the game, most rooms took me about 15 to 20 minutes to solve, so you're allowed a good amount of time for some deep thinking without ever getting frustrated. It's a game that makes you feel smart, and it offers those wonderful moments of triumph in abundance. I rarely speak about animations in my reviews, but this is a game with animations play such a huge part. Since you're rewinding and fast-forwarding time again and again and again, it's a pleasure that the animations are so smooth. There are no sharp edges that bothers the flow of the graphics or the gameplay. The girl, the cat, and the patrolling robots all move with such nice, lovely movements. I finished the game in 7 hours, but other players will surely finish it in 4 or 9. I find this a perfect length for a game of this genre. And if you want something more to chew on, there are 15 additional relic challenges. The harder rooms usually have multiple solutions, and you can earn an achievement by solving some of these rooms in a specific way. I like that you don't actually know from the beginning what rules each specific challenge has, but you have to look for the relic to lose its colors when you do something wrong, so you can deduce what the rules are and what you're supposed or not supposed to do. On the main menu, you can return to any of the rooms you have beaten and try these relic challenges if you didn't get them the first time. Unfortunately, there is no indication in the menus of which rooms have relic challenges or not, or which of the challenges you have already beaten or not. So you just have to pick room after room to see if they have a relic challenge that you have not beaten yet. Which is unnecessarily time-consuming and, well, plain stupid. The cumbersome nature of finding in which rooms these relic challenges are hidden is my only complaint about the game. However, Timelie is a game where the developers know what the players want and they delivers. Lovely cats and all the time in the world. What more could you ask for? The good, cute cat. Easy to understand, easy to control. A nice intermediate challenge. Smooth animations. Cryptic story. The bad, bothersome to find the relic challenges. When all is said and done, I give Timelie 8 out of 10. If you love puzzle adventures like Portal and Braid, it's a must to play this game. And, well, that's all I have to say really. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next review.